What about Beto's?
I'm a Rancheritos guy.
What's the difference?
It's not really. I just go to Rancheritos.
Okay. Because I go to Beto's when it's late.
I tried a Beto's burrito Christmas Eve, and I drank a ton of eggnog. Mm-hmm. And I threw it all up.
Oh, man.
So it's like scarred for me, kind of. I still remember how it looked, and I can't do Beto's anymore. Yeah.
I only get one thing from Beto's because I tried one other thing and I did not like it. I always just get the breakfast burrito with like steak potatoes.
Yep, that's what I threw up.
Yeah. But when I got this other time, I was like, I'll get the carne asada and fries one. That sounds really good. But they just had like this fat patch of sour cream, literally taking up the whole thing in the burrito. And then the other half was just a whole fat patch of guacamole. And then like all this stuff was in the center. Like it wasn't mixed up. And I just like took a fat bite. And I was like, straight into the sour cream. I was like, I tried opening it up and mixing it up. It just made it worse. And I'm like, nope.
Never again.
Cereal.
Yeah. I like Rancheritos. I've really only been there once, but
they got some big burritos though.
Yeah, oh yeah. I also go to Wendy's, get a 4 for $4. I think those are great deals.
Would that be open at 11?
Drive-thru is open. 24 hour. Yeah.
Or I go to Del Taco is another place I go to at least when I go places because I have the app, so I get a little deals every once in a while.
Yeah,
kind of nice.
It's also right by Temp.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. I'm not really one to go to restaurants though. I know.
Kind of talking about how you threw up.
Yeah.
And it ruined it for you.
Yeah.
It's funny how sometimes that works. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally.
Throwing up ruins the food. But I've never really had that.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I've had a couple.
Me too.
Yeah, one of them was so I got sick Halloween in 2nd grade. And that's when I stopped eating hot dogs, basically.
Oh,
it was a school hot dog, and dude, this was a depressing Halloween. So, like, Halloween was on Saturday, but Friday at school, like, we all dressed up and had our Halloween day. And I was chowing down these hot dogs for lunch because, they're so good.
Oh, yeah.
No. Anyways.
Boiled.
I came home, and I've never thrown up more than this time. Like, I threw up, I swear, like, 15 times or something like that in the course of when I was sick. That day and the next day. Like, I threw up so much. Luckily, I had a homie of a mom or a sibling, I can't remember who it was, who went out and trick-or-treated for me, But, like, I've hated hot dogs since then, and I think I ate a bunch of candy corn and, like, the pumpkin candy corn. So gross. Never want to eat it again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've had something similar, too. Obviously, the Beto's burrito that killed me, but also eggnog now because of the eggnog. And I used to eat a 12-inch... We have something at Firebird called like a loaded cheesy bread, like cream cheese and then tomatoes, bacon, and more cheese. And I would eat it like a medium size, like huge on my break every day. Somehow I would eat it all. And then I remember I woke up and I felt like crap, but I went to school anyways. And I remember just running out of the first period like 2 minutes before it ended.
Oh, jeez.
And just like praise the heavens. No one was in that bathroom because I was loud, like screaming.
Would you say that's your most horrific throwing up experience?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because it's like anxiety of like you're in class,
Have you ever thrown up at school?
It's anxiety.
In elementary school, I did.
Yeah.
I haven't thrown up.
I've never thrown up. So my most horrific throw up story, if you want to figure out what yours is, Clint, because I got a good one. So I have 2 of them. Well, I'm not sure which one was worse. One time I just threw up on a camp out in the tent. There was a dude. There was a dude next to me, and then there was all my stuff to my right. And like I either threw up on this kid or I threw up on all my stuff. I'm like, well, he's a good friend, so I'll throw up on all my stuff. But he didn't really prove himself as a good friend when I tried waking him up to tell him to go get a leader to help me clean up all my throw up on all my gear, and he just told me to go back to sleep. And this other kid on the other side of the tent woke up and like got him. So that one wasn't terrible. It just kind of sucked because I was camping out. But my most horrific one was I was sleeping down on the couch one day because I had like this nasty bug in me. I just felt so sick. And I'd eaten a bunch of chips and salsa prior to it, because I love chips and salsa. Still do, even after this experience. And I woke up that night, and, like, I don't know, the sickness just really messed with my whole system. So I had, like, mad poops. So I run to the bathroom, like, okay, here we go. And I'm sitting down on the toilet, and I'm just, like, trying to get anything out, when I'm like, oh, no. Oh no. And I don't have time to like get off the toilet and poop down. So I have to like scoot back as far as I can in the toilet, stick my head in between my legs, and throw up in between my legs into the toilet. I don't know how I did it.
That sounds awful.
It was horrible, dude.
This escalated.
So nasty. I was just laying there like trying to poop, but also vomiting in between my legs. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Good luck, everyone at home, listening and eating.
Don't eat during this episode.
Give them a warning at the beginning, like a seizure warning, but it's a throw up warning.
Yeah, so that was a pretty bad one for me.
Yeah, I haven't had too many bad ones. In 9th grade though, so I guess I did during school. I was in seminary actually, and all of a sudden my vision just started going blurry, and it was like right after basketball practice because I played for Oak Canyon. We practiced in the morning, and so I was like, my vision was blurry, and I was playing the hymn. And I would all of a sudden have to like move my head in order to see some of the notes.
Playing the piano.
And I was like, kind of brushing it off, like, there must be something in my eye or something, you know. And then
you didn't feel it at all?
No, I didn't feel anything.
Then
my head just started to kill. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna throw up.
It's like a migraine.
Yeah, I think it might have been a migraine. And so I didn't have a phone back then. So I was like, Brother Ray, can I call my mom? And so he like took me to his office and I called my mom. And she was like, all right, I'll come get you. And I walked to the seminary building and I threw up everywhere. Like all over.
In the building?
No. Okay. I was just outside. It was in the snow. And it was just this yellow, because I had an egg. It was just this yellow egg.
Okay, no more describing it.
That's horrible.
My friends said that they smelled it afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
me, Devin, and Nate took a physical fitness for life kind of class. And I remember we were running steps outside, we were just all dinking around like, oh, this is so hard, And then out of the corner of our eye, we see this kid run off, and he like throws up right next to like where we're running steps. But like apparently gross. It was too hard for him, and we're like, what the heck? Like this kid just like threw up. But I remember it smelled so bad, and he made us keep running.
No.
And so we were like acting like Bane, and like putting this up.
Yeah.
Just like sprinting up and down like oxygen masks. We were laughing so hard.
Yeah,
that's funny.
No, the worst throw up. Still going on this topic. Sorry, but we're going into depth this time. The worst throw up I've witnessed. For me, it was in 4th grade. I was in my art class right after lunch, and we were watching the teacher demonstrate something in the background, and I was in the back left of the room, so I was looking up ahead, but a few seats in front of me, to my left, there was this kid, and I was watching the teacher, and I look over at him, and I couldn't really comprehend what was happening at first, because I was just so shocked, because normally when you see someone throwing up, you see them making kind of a scene, they're running all over, but he's sitting there with his hand over his mouth, and I just see it spraying to the left side of his face. No. It literally looked like, how when you see a cartoon person get hit with a hose and it sprays everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
It looked like that. It looked like there was a hose just spraying out to the left. And I was just looking at him what is happening? And then the teacher looked at him and was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's throwing up. And then he just kept going. It was horrible. Absolutely disgusting.
Like a sprinkler?
No, literally, yeah. It was so bad.
That's
and
disgusting.
the kid didn't even react at all. He just sat there and he was just chilling.
What an alpha, dude.
I would have been crying. I would have been like, oh my gosh, I want to go home. Yeah. But he was just kind of okay. Yeah, so that was horrible to see.
All right.
Well,
I think we've covered that.
My episode is a throw up episode. They go on for 10 minutes about throw up.
I could ask so many questions about throwing up.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, I can't throw. I have to commit to throwing up. I can lay in bed for 30 minutes. I absolutely won't. I absolutely won't. But as soon as I commit and lean over to my pot or whatever just you throw up into, I'm
going
here we go. I'm going to. But otherwise, I will sit in bed sweating like crazy.
That's
just
me.
No.
It's never. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I always feel a little better and can sleep for 30 minutes.
We have a whole list of things and none of them
are throw up. And I'm the throw up episode now. Dang it.